Hey there, folks. It's me again, the disembodied head of Michael Bertrand. Today I'm going to talk about the conservative advantage. See, conservatives have one huge advantage over liberals, and that is, as inaccurate and at times utterly horrifying as their worldview is, it has one overwhelming virtue. It's simple. I've talked on my blog about how people require a simplified version of the world, one that's plausible and yet digestible. I mean, none of us understand everything. So every one of us is on a scale of just exactly how much of the world we can understand at any one point. But this is not a fixed thing. If someone is presented with a dominant narrative that is simpler and more satisfying than their current one, then they will be naturally attracted to it. That's why so many people can believe the conservative worldview and the stuff that Fox News puts out, because it fits their mind. It may not fit reality, but its problems with reality are not immediately apparent, so you can believe them. You can believe that homosexuals are trying to destroy the family because it makes sense to you, and you don't have any immediate evidence against it. It's not like someone said, the sky above you is now green. You can just look out the window and say, no, it isn't. But if you live in your little, conservative enclave and you think you don't know any homosexuals, trust me, you do, then that's perfectly plausible. So what liberalism desperately needs is a better narrative than what the conservatives put across. That means that we will have to do something that goes against the instincts of any liberal intellectual, and there's lots of us, and that is to simplify, to present a worldview that is maybe not 100% accurate or thorough. The instinct of any liberal intellectual is to give a thorough and complete answer to any question. But it may be that thorough and complete answer is not digestible to the masses. And the human instinct, when things get too complicated, is to just simply shut down and go look for an answer you understand. And so we have to be willing to, in a sense, talk down to people, or at least to us it will seem like talking down, because if someone talked to us that way, we'd be insulted. We'd say, you're talking to me like I'm an idiot. But no. We liberal intellectuals are defined by the fact that we have above average intellect. What will be talking down to us might just be talking sense to the people we want to vote our way. So you have to be willing to talk to people, to engage people on their own level. We are never going to turn the world into a world of liberal intellectuals. It's not possible. Okay? There will always be, the masses, the people, there's nothing wrong with them, but they're just not, they're average intelligence. We're above average intelligence. It kind of defines itself, really. So, we need to construct a powerful, simple, very digestible, and extremely satisfying narrative. One that has all the crust cut off, one that just, it resonates with people, and it does not present them with more complexity than they can handle. this narrative, I don't quite have it yet, but I know it will be based around compassion as the primary and kind of common sense populism as the secondary element. Everybody wants to think of themselves as a nice person, a good person. And obviously, that's increasingly difficult, to put it mildly, if you're a conservative. So there's a giant, we'll say, market opportunity there to reach out to people who want to feel like nice people again, and aren't really happy being the, part of the party of bastards. And certainly aren't happy being part of the party of corporate plutocracy. And give them a way out. Something that can sell them good liberal values, but in a way that doesn't trip their worries about liberalism. Liberalism that doesn't seem like liberalism. It just seems like you're just speaking simple, common, decent truths. That means it can't be shrill and it can't be accusatory, because that immediately alerts to people to the fact that it's confrontational. And then people just shut down their minds and pick up their weapons. So it has to be positive and caring and full of the sunshine goodness of Christian love, basically. That would be a good angle to push, Christian love, Christian charity, being like Christ. And yes, I know a lot of us liberal intellectuals are atheists, but you know what? Get the fuck over it. It's more important to win than to deserve to win. Anyway, so we need to construct a narrative, something that explains the world better to people. And by better, I mean it explains more things while also being easy to understand. It has to be composed of that which is already there in their minds. Worries about the environment, worries about the direction the conservatism has taken, where it seems to be just the rich serving the rich. Things like that. Worried about people just getting abandoned by their governments because some idiot thought, fuck poor people. I want to give tax cuts to billionaires. So, help me, folks. Anyone who sees this video, I am open to all suggestions. What would this new, more satisfying narrative be? It would be helpful if we can imply, without directly stating it, that conservatism has been taken over by non-conservatives, essentially. I mean, that's what the Tea Party is saying now, anyway. And it's the most effective way to shatter the right wing, essentially. My father, staunch conservative until Brian Mulroney convinced him that the Conservative Party, the Progressive Conservatives at the time, had been taken over by people who are not conservatives at all. Arguably, that's what's happened in the United States. Anyhow, suggestions. I am open to them. And the really good ones, I'll do another video about. So, hey, you could be famous. Well, internet famous, anyway. That's all for me for today, folks. I'll talk to you again tomorrow.